One Punch Man. This story centers on a human who becomes a god and has the capacity to defeat every opponent with just one punch, regardless of how strong or large they are. Saitama set out to become the strongest person in order to fulfill his dream of becoming a person-protecting hero. Little did he know how strong he would become. Over the course of 3 years, he performed nearly impossible exercises: 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every day. All beings have a growth limiter placed on them by God to keep them from losing their purpose. Eventually, everyone reaches this upper limit where they are unable to develop more strength no matter how hard they try. However, Saitama broke through his limiter, resulting in the development of immeasurable strength. As a result, the limit that was placed on all beings was broken, allowing Saitama's strength to grow endlessly. Saitama is characterized as an end-of-series protagonist who is introduced at the start of the One Punch Man universe. Monsters are divided into different tiers according to their threat level and overall power. You have Tiger, Demon, Dragon, and the most powerful of these are the God-level threats, which are extremely rare and incredibly powerful. They can threaten all of humanity and cause unpredictable levels of destruction. But for Saitama, it doesn't matter because he can defeat dragon-level threats like the Deep Sea King, a character who can easily defeat multiple S-class heroes with just one punch. The punch's force was so strong that it literally changed the weather. However, among the stars, there is another being who has become accustomed to fighting. Boros and Saitama come face to face, and it's time to test who's the strongest. Boros, an extraterrestrial being known as the Dominator of the universe, has his sights set on Earth, coming for one man, the man to fulfill the prophecy. Boros' remarks regarding Saitama's strength indicate that he can perceive no limit to it. Up until this point in the series, Saitama has defeated every monster with a single standard punch, but Boros is unique. Saitama punches Boros, and he manages to survive by shattering Boros' armor, which was limiting his immense power. Okay? Boros' strength keeps increasing as he transforms and attacks Saitama, seemingly causing no damage. But the light show is pretty cool. Because members of Boros species can regenerate themselves even from a pool of blood, this came in handy when Saitama's normal punches completely destroyed his body. Using his best footwork to date, Boros literally kicks Saitama all the way to the moon in almost an instant. Saitama is able to jump from the moon to the Earth, which will require him to travel at the speed of light, or 299,792 kilometers per second. When Boros says it's time to wrap things up, Saitama couldn't agree more. Boros charges up his most powerful attack, the collapsing star-roaring cannon, claiming that it can destroy the entire planet's surface. Finally, Saitama shows a glimpse of his strength as he uses his Serious Series Serious Punch. The shockwave from this punch alone was enough to destroy Boros' collapsing star-roaring cannon and even split the Earth's atmosphere. Boros claims that Saitama was still holding back, and now Saitama is once again alone in the universe as the strongest. Saitama faces even more of the Monster Association's strongest warriors, defeating Elder Centipede, Overgrown Rover, and even the king of the monsters, Orochi, who has grown more powerful since his battle with Garo. Still, all it takes is a single punch. Speaking of Garo, his goal is to alter his human biology to become his darkest fantasy, a monster. Garo the monster ends up fighting Platinum Sperm, and the pace at which Garo and Platinum Sperm can battle is calculated to be 200 times faster than light. Later on in the show, we discovered more about this guy, who is the most enigmatic of all the characters and may be the strongest, God. The greatest hero, Blast, has studied God and come to the conclusion that he created everything and has control over all of space and time. Blast has even had face-to-face encounters with God. Garo was able to arrive in God's presence, and God uses deception to get mortals to do his bidding as he assumes the form of your most influential person. When God gives Garo some of his power, all he needs to do is grab his hand. Garo rejects it, slapping it aside. But even that small contact between God and Monster Garo results in something interesting. When Garo returns to Earth, he is no longer a monster. Instead, he is a god. With the exception of God, Garo is the most powerful character in the universe. He now knows everything there is to know about energy and has incredible new abilities. As a human, he can copy anyone's techniques. But with this newfound power, he can copy blast space manipulation abilities, use nuclear fission, and even create his own subspace gates. Saitama arrives on the battlefield just in time to witness Garo punch a hole through Genos' core. That's it. He's finished holding back. Saitama, holding his friend's core in his grasp, has one thought left. It's time to get serious. Saitama uses his strongest punch, Serious Series Serious Punch, to attack Garo, but Garo manages to survive by copying Saitama's strength. He calls it Saitama Mode and ends up unleashing his own powerful punch. Blast can sense the energy they're about to release and uses his subspace gates to contain their clash in space. He even needs assistance from others to reroute the attack from Earth, repelling Garo and Saitama into deep space. They end up landing on the surface of one of Jupiter's moons, but in the opposite direction, they create a hole in space. This punch, dubbed Serious Punch Squared, seemed to be able to destroy all the stars within this radius, and using inverse square law, we can see that this punch generated multi-galaxy levels of power. Saitama tells Garo that he's glad he can finally use his full power against someone who can actually stand up. But Saitama was not as excited as he had been in his dream due to his friend's death. Garo tries using his abilities against Saitama, but none of them work. Saitama just kicks it away. Yeah, I would react the same way. Saitama takes hold of the moon's surface and uses a move called Serious Table Flip to rip it off. Garo claims that Saitama has limitless strength, so he decides to copy him endlessly, but for some reason it doesn't work. We get to see how Saitama's strength actually functions, as it's displayed on a graph next to Garo. We see that Saitama has finite jumps, but it just keeps going. Saitama grows so quickly that characters who can copy him just by looking at him can't do it. Saitama grows so quickly that Garo cannot copy his strength. Now that Saitama has advanced in this battle, he has gotten somewhat tiresome. But once again, he catches one of Garrus's punches, and what happens next is absurd. Saitama has the power to completely demolish Jupiter with just one sneeze. Are you kidding me? Given the severity of his sneeze, I suppose he kind of is. Garo determines when he sees this. Yeah, that's enough. Get me the hell out of here. He kicks Saitama to the other end of space and uses one of his subspace gates to return to Earth, but Saitama uses a serious fart to move significantly faster than light, allowing him to catch up to Garo. Don't ask me what's going on. Your guess is as good as mine. When Saitama punches him back down to Earth, Garo sees that the child he was friends with has died and declares that he is done. He tells Saitama that he must make amends for his mistakes and teaches him a skill that he hoped he would master if he had the power of God, but it is still insufficient. However, Saitama is a whole other story. God decides to take away Garo's power after Garo demonstrates to him how to reverse particles and antiparticles with his own particles doing the same. However, before Garo can pass away, he tells him that if anyone can master God's power without taking his hand, it's you. So, as he travels back in time and sees Garo in the past, he does what he does best. He balls up his fist and punches, creating an attack that not even the One Punch Man can perform, ending a fight with 0 punches. There is only one issue left to be answered. Can creation overcome the creator? Can Saitama defeat God? As Saitama's strain continues to increase with no end in sight, Garo managed to momentarily match Saitama's strength by squeezing God's hand. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please drop a like, turn on notifications, and leave a comment below on how powerful you think Saitama really is. Do you think he's capable of beating powerful characters outside the One Punch Man universe? With that being said, I'll catch you all in the next one.